From canvas and wire trainers that taught a generation to fly, to titanium wedges that tore the sky apart at Mach 6, one aviation company defined the absolute bleeding edge of American air power for over 4 decades. They built the plane that broke the back of the Luftwaffe. They forged the jet that claimed the skies of MiG Alley. They pushed humanity to the very edge of space. This is the complete catalog of North American aviation military aircraft. Let's begin. The Foundation, Observation and Trainers. O-47. The Flying Greenhouse. Built in the late 1930s to replace biplane observation aircraft. It featured a deep belly with heavy window plating for a dedicated observer to direct artillery and scout enemy lines. However, by the time World War II broke out, slow, heavy observation planes were painfully obsolete and highly vulnerable to enemy fighters. It found itself relegated to coastal patrol and target towing before the war even hit its stride. BT-9. The Stepping Stone. This was the canvas-covered foundation of American military flight training. A low-wing monoplane, it forced cadets to adapt to the speed and handling of modern fighters rather than forgiving, slow-rolling biplanes. It was entirely unremarkable in combat, but absolutely vital in doctrine. It set the stage for the most famous trainer in aviation history. T-6 Texan, the pilot maker, the single most important training aircraft ever conceived. Over 15,000 were built, training almost every Allied pilot who flew in World War II. It possessed a 600-horsepower Pratt & Whitney radial engine, giving cadets a true taste of high-performance, heavy-torque flight. It wasn't meant to fight, yet it saw combat in Korea and Vietnam as a forward air controller, proving its rugged, undeniable reliability. T-28 Trojan. The counterinsurgent. Introduced in the 1950s to transition pilots into the jet age, featuring a massive Wright Cyclone engine. But its true calling came much later in the dense jungles of Southeast Asia. Armed with gun pods and heavy rockets, it became a devastatingly effective close air support aircraft. It was cheap, tough, and capable of loitering over targets far longer than thirsty, fast-moving jets. T-2 Buckeye, the jet tutor. The undisputed master of naval aviation training for half a century. Its twin jet engines and broad, straight wings gave rookie carrier pilots a forgiving platform to practice the most dangerous maneuvers in the world. It successfully trapped on pitching carrier decks tens of thousands of times. It wasn't glamorous, but it forged the absolute elite of the Navy. From the training grounds, North American turned its eyes to the front lines, and in the skies of Europe, they would build a legend. The prop fighters, kings of the piston era. P-64. The export anomaly. Designed as a low-cost, lightweight fighter for South American nations. It packed twin 20mm cannons and a respectable top speed, but was rapidly eclipsed by advancing global technology. When World War II broke out, the U.S. government commandeered the remaining models for advanced training. It was a footnote, a small prelude to the main event. A 36 Apache. The ground pounder. The unsung, dive-bombing precursor to the Mustang legend. Equipped with slotted dive brakes and an Allison V12 engine, it screamed out of the sky to pulverize Axis armor in Sicily and Italy. Its low-altitude performance was vicious, but its engine completely choked at high altitudes. It was a localized terror, waiting for a technological breakthrough. P-51 B/C Mustang. The game changer. The union of American airframe genius and British Rolls-Royce Merlin power. Suddenly, the USAAF had a fighter that could fly to Berlin, dogfight with the best the Luftwaffe had to offer, and fly all the way home. It broke the back of the German fighter command by seamlessly protecting the heavy bomber fleets. It was a logistical miracle that permanently altered the course of the war. P-51D Mustang. The icon of the skies. The definitive, bubble canopy masterpiece. Armed with 6.50 caliber machine guns and boasting a top speed of 437 miles per hour, it was the apex predator of piston-engine flight. It provided unparalleled visibility and lethal firepower, cementing its status as the greatest fighter of the Second World War. It is, quite simply, immortal. F-82 Twin Mustang. The Double Trouble. A radical solution to the problem of extreme-range bomber escort in the Pacific. By marrying two stretched Mustang fuselages to a common center wing, North American created a heavy fighter where two pilots could alternate flying during marathon missions. It arrived too late for World War II but claimed the very first aerial victories of the Korean War. It was the absolute limit of piston fighter design. While fighters claimed the glory above, North American was busy rewriting the rules of medium and heavy strike aircraft. The bomber fleet, medium to heavy hitters. B-25 Mitchell. The Tokyo Raider. The most produced American twin-engine combat aircraft of World War II. famous for launching off the deck of the USS Hornet under the command of Jimmy Doolittle to strike the Japanese homeland. It was heavily armed, incredibly durable, and eventually strapped with a 75mm cannon to aggressively sink enemy shipping. It was a blunt force instrument of tactical destruction. B-45 Tornado, the jet bomber blueprint, the first four-engine jet bomber to enter service with the United States. Featuring a sleek, straight-wing design, it brought bomber commands into the jet age at over 500 miles per hour. It flew vital reconnaissance missions over Korea, easily outrunning early Soviet interceptors. However, rapid advancements in swept-wing technology made it obsolete almost as soon as it deployed. A 5 Vigilante, the Mach 2 Scout, initially designed as a carrier-based nuclear strike bomber with a unique linear bomb bay that ejected payloads out the rear. It was an aerodynamic masterpiece, capable of Mach 2 speeds, but its bombing mechanism was wildly unreliable. Repurposed as the RA-5C reconnaissance platform, it became the fastest, most capable eye in the sky over Vietnam, though it suffered heavy losses due to its dangerous low-altitude mission profiles. B-1 Lancer, the Bone, conceived under North American Rockwell to penetrate Soviet airspace at treetop level. Featuring variable sweep wings and 4 massive afterburning turbofans, it carried the largest payload of both guided and unguided weapons in the U.S. Air Force inventory. While complex and plagued by political cancellations, it evolved into a devastating conventional bomber over the Middle East. It is a supersonic workhorse of apocalyptic proportions. The era of propellers was ending. The jet age had arrived, and North American was ready to draw blood in the swept-wing revolution. The jet age, pushing the boundaries. FJ-1 Fury. The carrier pioneer, North American's first jet aircraft, essentially a straight-winged P-51 fuselage packed with an axial flow turbojet. It proved jets could operate from aircraft carriers, but its straight wings severely limited its speed and agility. It was a technological testbed, a necessary stepping stone that paved the way for greatness. F-86 Sabre, the MiG killer. The swept-wing savior of the Korean War, boasting a top speed of 685 miles per hour and armed with 6 nose-mounted .50 caliber machine guns, it was specifically designed to hunt the Soviet MiG-15. In the freezing skies of MiG Alley, Sabre pilots achieved a legendary kill ratio, relying on the aircraft's superior dive speed and advanced radar-ranging gun sight. It was the quintessential early jet fighter. F-86D Sabre Dog, the radar interceptor, a radically redesigned Sabre featuring a larger fuselage, an afterburning engine, and a massive radome in the nose. Instead of guns, it packed a retractable tray of 24 unguided rockets designed to blow Soviet nuclear bombers out of the sky. It was complex, heavy, and lacked dogfighting agility, but it was the spearhead of America's homeland defense in the 1950s. FJ-2, 3, and 4 Fury. The swept-wing sailors. The Navy demanded their own Sabre, resulting in this heavily modified carrier-capable lineage. They featured stronger landing gear, folding wings, and hard-hitting 20mm cannons. By the time the FJ-4 rolled off the line, it was practically a new aircraft, capable of carrying nuclear weapons and serving as a fleet workhorse. It brought Air Force performance to the pitching decks of the Pacific Fleet. F-100 Super Sabre. The Supersonic Sentry, the first Western fighter capable of supersonic speed and level flight. Nicknamed the Hun, it introduced the treacherous aerodynamic phenomenon known as the Sabre Dance, which claimed many lives during landing due to extreme pitch-up issues. Despite its dangerous low-speed handling, it became the workhorse fighter bomber of the early Vietnam War, flying more combat sorties than any other aircraft. YF-107, the Ultra Sabre, a radical, Mach 2 capable prototype with its jet intake mounted directly on top of the fuselage behind the cockpit. It was designed to keep the nose entirely free from massive radar arrays and weapons. While fast and innovative, the overhead intake posed a massive, deadly hazard during pilot ejection. It ultimately lost the tactical fighter competition to the F-105 Thunderchief, becoming another magnificent what-if. Beyond fighters and bombers, North American was obsessed with the absolute limits of aviation. They built the machines that touched the stars. The X-planes and experimentals reaching for the stars. OV-10 Bronco, the Jungle Scout, a highly unusual twin-boom, twin-turboprop aircraft designed specifically for counterinsurgency and forward air control. It offered incredible visibility, exceptionally short takeoff capabilities, and an assortment of light weapons. It could loiter over the battlefield for hours, marking targets and directing heavy airstrikes in Vietnam and the Middle East. It was the ultimate eye in the sky for troops on the ground. X-10, The Navajo Test Bed, an unmanned supersonic drone built to test the aerodynamics and flight computers for an intercontinental cruise missile. Powered by twin turbojets, it aggressively pushed the boundaries of autonomous flight in the 1950s. While the Navajo missile program was ultimately canceled in favor of ballistic missiles, the X-10 laid the vital groundwork for modern drone warfare. XB-70 Valkyrie, the Mach 3 god of war, an absolute titan of Cold War engineering. Designed to ride its own supersonic shockwave via compression lift, this six-engine strategic bomber could cruise at Mach 3 at 70,000 feet, making it completely immune to interceptors of the era. The advent of high-altitude surface-to-air missiles rendered its primary mission profile instantly obsolete. Only two were built, but it remains one of the most visually stunning aircraft ever conceived. X-15, the edge of space. A rocket with wings. Dropped from a B-52 mothership, it reached blistering speeds of Mach 6.7 and altitudes exceeding 67 miles, officially earning its pilots astronaut wings. It glowed red-hot from atmospheric friction, requiring exotic inconel steel armor just to survive the flight. The data it meticulously gathered directly enabled the Apollo moon landings and the Space Shuttle program. It is the absolute pinnacle of North American aviation. The assembly lines of North American aviation are long gone, absorbed into corporate mega-mergers and the relentless march of time, but the legacy of their engineers is forever etched into the stratosphere. From the piston-pounding roar of the Mustang to the hypersonic silence of the X-15, they built the machines that won wars and shattered limits. Which of these unique designs is your favorite? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to Military Blueprint for the next complete catalog.